No, not that one. The other camera operator. Is it a lead input 2? Awesome. And the good news is for all that back in the booth and everything, because of how somebody touched voice meter, some configuration, so that whole time everything we just said was not on air. So now I've got the audio going. So we'll restart the show as we are joined live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wilson World Tennis Classic, brought to you by Wilson, the official ball and title sponsor of the event. Joining us here at the Casters booth is none other than tournament director, Mr. Kywin Evans, joining us here to fill us in a little bit about the history of this amazing tournament as we watch a men's 55 doubles semifinal get started. We'll get into that details here in a bit, but Kywin, why don't you take an opportunity to tell us a bit about the tournament?
Thanks, Todd. Yeah, good. Cool, perfect. Great final here coming up with just getting underway with Rick and Vivek against Pawsat and Man-Son-Hing. Yeah, so the tournament, this is about as historic a tournament as there gets. I mean, this is nearly 40 years old, this tournament's 39 years old this year. We've had it here at Shadow Mountain for 4 years now. It was at, nice pickup, good try. It was at Mission Hills for 25 years before it came over here to Shadow Mountain. A lot of these players have been playing this tournament for, some of them, 20 plus years. So it's like a reunion. Every year these guys get together and these gals get together and they catch up. Some of them haven't seen each other for sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and this is the spot that they catch up and play and reminisce on old stories.
So we're looking at the 3 seed here on the far side from your camo, which is the north side here at beautiful Shadow Mountain on Stadium Court, otherwise known as Court 4. Who are we seeing serve right now? I'm assuming that's Mr. Man-Son-Hing.
Man-Son-Hing.
So that's Bruce. He's got some experience on the tour in doubles, I hear. He's currently serving with a head stencil as well as a Solinco stencil. I noticed it looks like he's got some Solinco strings and a head frame. And he's the number 3 seed along with his partner in the tournament, making it to this semifinal as they look to hold this opening game. I know he's got some doubles experience playing against and with Mr. Leach out there, as well as his partner Timothy. Kywin, I imagine you've heard a number of stories from not only these competitors, but the other guys and gals checking in at the desk throughout the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there are so many stories, and what's funny is when you get to this, I don't know whether it's funny necessarily, once you get to this level of tennis and these players that have been playing for as long as they have, everyone's got some kind of a health story of, well, you know, I had a heart attack so I couldn't play last year, so I'm back at it this year, or any kind of ailment, any kind of injury. They just keep going, man. They're all playing and the quality is so good. It's amazing. It's inspiring. Love, Todd, having my kids in my junior academy come out and in the Win Tennis Academy and watch these guys play, and, you know, realizing they're 30, 40 years older than they are and still putting some great tennis on the court for us to see.
Yeah, and I think we're obviously witness to some great doubles on display here, as number of Grand Slam titles on the court, number of NCAA titles on the court. We just saw all 4 gentlemen at the net for a point as everybody closed to the action as the 3 seeds serve 45 here in the opening game.
Exactly, and that's it. You know, this level of tennis, you cannot miss returns, you cannot miss volleys. These guys are so smart. The unforced error count is much lower.
Bruce sails that ball just long. Looks like wind is a bit more of a factor in this afternoon match. We had a great men's 55 final contested earlier this morning, which you all saw live. Wind didn't really play a part here, but as it's got about 15 degrees warmer, some of the desert wind has came in and a bit of a blustery conditions as these gentlemen look to serve. Bruce serving into the sun, looking south right now. Serving up 40-30, the first time we're seeing a I or Australian position in play here. Timothy opting not to go for the tweener, keeping the ball in play with a lob. Leach deciding to go left-handed today,
Solid. Oh.
just covering the entire court.
First game underway. Yeah, Todd. Great to see doubles like this out there. The level is high.
Level is high, and keep in mind this is just a semifinal, but I will say that the tournament director has done a pretty good job on seeding. We saw a 1 versus 2 come together in the men's 55 singles final. Now we have a 1 versus 3 in the men's 55 doubles final. As we look at Bruce there, take care of his eyes as he gets ready to go out and attempt to break Mr. Leach here. Looks like Leach and Varma using some strategy there, keeping the lefty serving first so he doesn't have to look into the sun. Vivek Varma, the only resident outside of the state of California on the court right now, hailing from Mercer Island, Washington. Rick and the other 3 gents currently reside in SoCal.
Vivek spends quite a bit of time down here in SoCal though. He's back and forth. He's played at Seattle Tennis Club. Is that where he plays?
A lot of Mercer Island Country Club. Plays the Washington State Open, another great senior event that the National Senior Men's Tennis Association has a big part in lobbying to keep scoring format, full deuce, none of that no ad stuff. Kylan, tell us a bit about the National Senior Men's Tennis Association.
Well, and just on your point there, as far as the scoring format, yeah, I'm never gonna change that format here. I mean, the history in this tournament, especially with the players that have been playing these events for as long as they have, it's really important to me to keep the format that they have always played. I think the gaming and whatnot that you see in the modern day, with it kind of impresses how big the serve and the returns are, and the need to adjust the format to kind of speed things up a little bit. But this is not going to change. History of tennis, this is a scoring format we've been playing for years. It's not going to change. But the NSMTA has, their foundation, the organisation, has grown significantly over the last 4 or 5 years, and we need more participation. We're looking to, entice players to get out there and compete. A lot of them don't know about, a huge amount of these tournaments. The club players and, players that are out there in their league matches, they don't know that this is a much easier endeavour for them to come out and jump into these tournaments than they think. So it seems to be shifting a little bit, which is great. I'd like to see more tournament participation and, club players not just think that leagues is all they have,
As we take a look at this big lefty serving here. Kevin, do you know anything about this Mr. Leach?
Good ball there.
See a great lob out of Varma there to keep on track 45 here in the second game of the set.
Do we know anything about Mr. Leach?
Yeah.
What has he got, 5 Grand Slams?
Something like that.
Yeah. He's pretty good. I haven't seen him miss a serve yet, and I haven't seen him miss a return yet. So,
what's his gold ball count at? Have you had a chance to talk to him before the match? It seems like he's out here now hunting gold balls recreationally.
Yep. He and Vivek won our tournament here 2 years ago. That's the last tournament actually he played. I think he's had a little bit of health issues just in the last year. So it's good to see him back out on the court. And that is just so solid. Nice ball.
So Rick told us in the locker room during warm-up that his brother John, who's married to none other than Lindsay Davenport, has a son who's out there, has been doing very well on the ITF junior circuit, has worked his way up from 400 to number 184 in the world, doing well 3 weeks in a row in the ITF juniors. Shout out to his nephew, Jagger.
And Rick just joined. I believe he's teaching a little bit at Palisades, Pacific Palisades Club. So.
Yeah, and I think we're having Tim serve to Rick here. So Tim played with Rick on the tour. So they played a lot of doubles together. So they're very familiar with each other's game.
That's good tennis right there.
This is some
great tennis.
Textbook doubles.
Using the low ball outside of the wing by the alley, getting the high volley. It's just such an enjoyable game, Todd, at this level. You know, it's so much smarter. It's not so much of the big power game. Placement, returns at the feet, volleys at the feet. It's great to see the shot selection.
Yeah, I think especially when we've got a history of folks on tour that didn't have the technology to hold serve at 40 love at 139 miles an hour. It's expressed itself in this beautiful game of doubles where now, for other reasons, they don't have the ability to hold serve at 140 miles an hour. And we're seeing some points develop. Every game's in contention. We've seen some quality doubles all week.
What are you up to now? Are you like a $145 on your first serve? I think
I'm serving 145 kilometers per hour.
That's right. Yeah, that's like what, 24 miles an hour? Somewhere in there.
Trying my best out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping that Rick said after the match, if it goes well, he's going to teach me the continental grip. Currently, I use the Western technique on the serve, and
you're a frying pan server.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a different way to do it, but haven't quite learned it yet.
I'm glad we didn't play that tournament together in the end. Then that could have been brutal.
Yeah, that would have been rough.
Yep.
See if Tim and Bruce can get on the board here and hold and not let this set get away from themselves here.
Oh, good coverage from Vivek as Rick gets pulled out of the court, plays a smart ball down the line. Instead of trying to be fancy, Vivek has got an easy job to follow him. Good court coverage, good teamwork.
A lot of people probably don't give Vivek as much credit as he deserves. They think he's just picking the best in the world as a doubles partner. But
no, he's solid. He is a really
doubles
player. Good doubles player.
He's a thinker on the court, and
yeah.
He had a string tied to his partner's hip there and covered where he needed to cover, anticipated where that ball was going to be. Beautiful hands. Varma, one of the competitors that's battling out not only in tournaments around the world, but also an active USTA Adult League player. Actively plays men's 5-0 as well as men's 5-5 and open teams.
Nice. You know, we're seeing Tim there now starting to kind of show a little bit of a pattern. He loves that angle out wide in the alley to set up the high volley. Bruce has been a bit quiet here. Tim seems to be taking control.
Take a look at Tim's service delivery here.
Let's see what we got. Takes his time. Good setup. Brings the feet together.
Johnny Mac swagger wagger.
Yeah. Okay. Not a bad move.
Good move, but an incredibly low volley out of Tim puts V in a tough situation. He was 6 inches from the net, but still not able to get that ball above the level of the net and sails that volley long. Tim and Bruce put a hold up on the board. Now Varma will have an opportunity to serve to stay up a break in this opening set. Good shot there at that BNP Paribas towel. Obviously, we're just a launched tennis ball away from the Indian Wells Tennis Garden here at Shadow Mountain Resort. We take a look at Leach and Varma taking their time on the changeovers. We look at the yoga display, the back stretching from from Tim and Bruce.
And again, they've played one more match, so keeping the body fresh is important.
Bruce already into his first change of shirts early on during the encounter.
Okay, let's see what Vivek can do here. And I'm a couple of minutes from having to get back to the tournament desk, but let's see what happens.
Speaking
if we
of
can,
the tournament desk, how many
hold.
draws are being contested this week at the Wilson World Tennis Classic, Mr. Evans?
So we've got 725 players, approximately. And nice volley down the line by Vivek. We have 48 draws in the national level 2, so that's 35s all the way to 90s in the divisions in both men and women on the 5-year increments, singles and doubles. And then the level 1, players battling for gold balls, we have 5 levels of mixed doubles. So 50s, 60s, 70s, 75s and 80s all battling for the famed gold ball in the mixed doubles. This is a level 2 doubles, so they're playing a 10-pointer for the third if they get there, but total 53 divisions. So it's a huge tournament. And it's nice because the players have the opportunity, if they want, they can play 3 events. So they're able to play singles, doubles, and mix.
We do have a lot of competitors out there that I've seen in singles, doubles, and mixed. Earlier in the week, we did get a chance to watch some matches and interview a Triple Crown winner out of the Bay Area. She managed to win, was it the 40s?
She won the 40s singles, she won the 40s mixed, and then the 40s doubles. Mariko Fritz Krakow, yeah?
Yeah, partnered with Ryan Pang, also out of Mercer Island, Washington, as we take a look at Vivek try to make sure that ball was out of the way there from Mercer Island. And then who did she partner with in women's doubles? We'll have to look to the draws for that one.
Who did she partner with in women's doubles?
You know, it was
she played with
a new partner for her in women's doubles as well as mixed doubles, and she managed to win all 3, and as well as singles. An impressive feat.
I forget her partner's name in the doubles, but doubles was the least competitive out of all 3.
Ran through all the draws, including a tough match versus Henry Choi in mixed doubles.
Yeah.
Henry Choi enjoying a pretty good tournament here himself.
He is a
young kid
world-class
out
player.
of British Columbia.
Player. Yep. Yeah, more of a singles player. You know, he's a good doubles player, but definitely his expertise is on the singles court. Just so smooth. One-handed backhand. Really nice to watch. All right, let's see what happens here. I'd like to see Rick make a move here.
So poach predictions from tournament director Kywin Evans off of Varma's serve. Rick goes back for the easy overhead.
That's good
They
play.
make it look so smooth.
They do.
It feels like we're watching an exhibition, but this is an important semifinal for not only bragging rights Kywin, but this is a lot of points on the line for their USTA and ITF journey, as well as some of these guys are very concerned with their world tennis number and also their UTR as it factors into seeding for so many events here in the future, right?
Well, and the points. I mean, they need the ITF points. That's one of the major reasons why. So this event coming into the Worlds, which will be in Turkey, that's coming up. That's a good move. That's coming up in the spring. You know, this being such a large event, with so many of the divisions having rounds of 32 and even up to our 60s and 65 singles, they're both 128 player draws. So that gives players so many rounds to rack up points. So it's one of the huge tournaments they all love to play, and this is their tune-up as well as their opportunity to get the points for the Worlds. So, and very often as well, you've got all these players. Great return there by Vivek. you've got all these players that come out and use this as their practice ground to really get some time with their partners for the Worlds. So. Well, I mean, I think the shirt change here was a good choice from Bruce.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I think it got him back on serve.
A little bit more of a clean fit. And just long there.
Didn't like the gray on gray Selinko shirt, but the blue on white Selinko shirt does very well when playing into the sun, we've determined. We'll give that feedback to KT over there at Selinko.
Always a plug.
All 4 doubles competitors communicating with their partners here, whether they're returning or serving. It's good to see plans in action, even if it doesn't always go the way they intended. Great hands there at the net from Tim. Two all, 30 all.
Good serve.
Good serve. Rick is looking for a reason why he missed that. Seeing if the ball skid on the line.
A bit concerned about the call. Wasn't sure if maybe Vivek missed it. We have the electronic Hawkeye system, but we're not quite there.
We'll work on getting Hawkeye or a better technology installed for next year at the Wilson World Tennis Classic at the 2024 edition, held here at lovely Shadow Mountain Resort. Currently, this live stream is brought to you by the folks at High School GG and the kids behind the scenes. Thanks to at Citrus High School, all the way from Val Verde Unified, amazing program they have called Teen Vision. They're behind the scenes operating the cameras. You see them over there to the left of the screen. They're also back in the broadcast booth, in the broadcast truck, making this possible. We're super grateful for their time and talent. Broadcasting some tennis out here in the desert, taking the day off from school to come watch some old guys play some tennis.
Oh, so good from Leach. Once again, he's not missed a return. They keep going to his backhand. He's not missed one return yet from what I've seen. And just using the rolling forehand out of the wing. Getting Tim low. Okay.
Varma set up with a break point here thanks to Rick's roller. Let's see if he can convert here. Second serve, Varma looking to close in.
Jump on top of this. Let's go, Vivek.
He puts the pressure on,
Yeah,
and that's enough to do it.
Just battling with the sun a little bit. He's not wearing a hat. It's interesting.
Let's see if he
good
goes
tennis
to
so
his
far,
Selinko
Todd.
bag and pulls a hat, or maybe perhaps a different shirt change there. Yeah, great tennis all around. Kaiwan, thanks so much for joining us here. Big shout out to anyone at the tournament behind the scenes you want to give before I know you got to go back and make sure the ship still runs.
Like so many of these events operate, right? I mean, you cannot thank enough of the people that help to make it happen, right? So Cheryl Hirschman, my jokingly named my tournament wife. She's my volunteer coordinator. She's kind of my tournament assistant. Siggy Menzel, my head pro here at the club, who helps run the desk. And even a couple of our kids, Romy Diamore, she's out there as a hitting partner, and just everybody at the club. And it's a lot of work, a lot of setup, but people working long hours to make this event look and be as enjoyable as it is for the players. So
awesome.
So and thanks to you guys for being here. Appreciate it, Todd.
Yeah, thanks for having us. This is great as we take a little panning shot at that crowd and thank Kywin so much for his time. So we got a couple hundred people here in attendance, taking a look at this men's 55 semifinal action as Mr. Leach serves up a break 3-2, trying to cement that break and get the first real advantage here in the first set. Clutch volleys from all four players on the court so far, Spencer.
That's what we've been seeing this whole match. Yeah, a lot of net play, a lot of aggression closing the net, and a lot of good cover play from both teams. When one partner's drawn off the court, the other covers their space they created.
I tell you what, I'd like to get any of these four players on my USTA 9.0 and 10.0 mixed doubles teams.
You think you'd make a run for nationals?
I think we could sandbag a couple of these guys at 4-0 or 4-5.
No doubt.
Notice.
No doubt you'd run through nationals.
Yeah, we have a variety of ratings on the court right now from the world tennis number perspective as the data starts coming in for this new rating system. Vivek Varma doubles rating of an 8.0. Mr. Richard Leach doubles rating of an 11.2. To put that in perspective, a 1.0 is a theoretical number one in the world, all the way down to the higher the number, the newer the player. But it's really just based on the results that are in the system. Mr. Leach not getting out there on the court as much as some of these other guys that have had an opportunity to get more data established. Obviously, the data points that really matter are how many Grand Slam titles you're carrying, how many gold balls you're walking around with in your pockets, and how far you've gone in the draw this week, and how healthy you are. Right now we've got four relatively healthy competitors stepping on the court. Noticed two of the players taking advantage of the massage services available on site here this week at the Wilson World Tennis Classic yesterday after their quarterfinal match, as they were hobbling around the court, as Bruce wonders where that ball went off of his strings. Leach serving down 540, up a break 3-2. See if they can climb their way out of this hole here. Looking for Varma to move on this second serve. He makes the move. Ooh. Makes the move and had a little too much time to think about that. Good dipper from Bruce's racket.
There's a score mistake on my part. It's 30-40. That was just 30 all.
So that was 30 all.
Yeah.
Another opportunity.
Gotta put the pressure on him somehow,
Yep. We'll see if Varma can still keep active and moving at the net and put that one out of his head. He's having to backpedal for a lob that just sails long off of Pawsat's racket. Leveling this game at deuce. where else can you go, Spencer, to talk to Grand Slam champions and watch them play doubles this close? I don't think there's another venue in the world other than Shadow Mountain Resort here for the 2023 Wilson World Tennis Classic. We just heard from Tournament Director Extraordinaire Kywin Evans, who's one of the younger folks represented. He's a humble guy, but he actually played in the draw himself this week. Didn't go his way in doubles, but he had a fun time out there. Ran into some tough competition. As we see Leach trying to hold this game here for a 4-2 lead. There's a poach by Varma that works out. That's just what they needed. Brings it back to 4-2. 2 serving 4. As Timothy gets ready to serve here. Trying to keep this first set competitive. They need a hold here.
Oh.
Great backhand, low ball to Varma's shoes. He couldn't do much with that. Take a look at another amazing view of the grounds here at Shadow Mountain. Thanks to the Teen Vision program at Citrus Hill High School, Valverde Unified, an awesome camera angle that the students have established up there on the roof of the snack shack, giving us a look at courts 4, 5, 6, and 7, facing to the east. We get back to Tim serving here.
Oh.
Big move from Varma, but not quite enough. Or did that ball sail long? No, that was in. Bruce. Yeah. Bruce's volley was in.
He was there. He was ready for that move.
Great hands.
Making it look effortless, really.
Yeah. One of the first matches in the tournament where I've seen all 4 players have stencils on their racket, and that tells you something.
What does it tell you?
These guys mean business. They're out here fighting for sponsors, just like everyone else on the tours. Varma sells that backhand a little too high, gets swallowed up by Mr. Man-Son-Hing. That takes us to 4 serving 3 in the opening set. We take another lovely look at that GoPro camera angle. Take a look at the campus here. Big shout out to Wilson for making this event possible. I want to give a special shout out to the NWTO that you see there on your screen, the National Women's Tennis Organization. as well as the National Senior Men's Tennis Association, as well as our presenting sponsor this week, James Mackey, your real estate agent of choice down here in the desert. It's a very unique event, as Kywin mentioned to us. We've got gold balls on the line in some of the mixed doubles events. This is a level 2 event for many of the other events being contested, where there's USTA points and ITF points up for grabs. It's a fun event, but it's a very, very serious event, as people are qualifying or losing their chances to be on various world's teams and represent their countries. In this case, all 4 of these gentlemen play for the U.S. flag, but there's folks traveling internationally that need to earn critical ITF points just to represent their countries in some of the larger events throughout the tennis world.
Tries to push that line. Unfortunately, didn't have the height for it.
Speaking of James, he's going to join us here at the desk. James, why don't you get in there and say hi. Say hi to the camera. You can wave. It's right over there.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Just take a minute to tell us about this tournament as we take a look at the lovely desert setting here.
Absolutely.
I said that you'd come on air and tell us a bit about the real estate market, here in SoCal, and specifically in the desert, and everything going on at Shadow Mountain.
Yeah, well, good question. We're getting a lot of questions this year more than ever about housing, what's going on with the market, homes for sale. So it's been a busy week for me. This is my 5th year as a sponsor. So real estate market here in the valley is seen some stability. We're getting a lot of second home buyers, investment property homeowners looking for the right property. So it's been a good week for us here at Shadow. Got a couple listings, particularly worth mentioning at Shadow, a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom. So come by and say hi or give me a call. I'd love to talk to you more about that. So the market really, biggest reason why it's probably stayed strong and stable is inventory across the valley typically runs about 4,000 to 5,000 homes. Today we have about 2,000 homes. So from a historical standpoint, we have about half normal inventory. So that's probably the biggest driving force. People seem to quickly figure out the lifestyle that the desert offers. Lifestyle could be golf, tennis, pickleball, weather, swimming, dining, shopping, etc. But
So when you say here you've got inventory at Shadow, are you referring specifically to this resort where the tennis tournament is taking place?
right, yeah, we have a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, south-facing 2-car garage listed at $615, and I have what I would call a tennis property on court 15 and 16. That's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo.
And what's a tennis property?
Well, I kind of describe it as a tennis property because it's on the tennis courts, just about literally. There may be about a 15-foot setback grass area, but out your windows off the back of the property are courts 15 and 16 here at Shadow Mountain.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that insight into the market. Now, did you play in the tournament yourself this week?
Not this year. I felt obligated to support my clients, who one of them is playing in the tournament, and just was really looking forward to just getting out and seeing a lot of old friends and faces I've seen over the past few years. So it's been a busy time for me. So not enough time for the tennis, unfortunately.
Cool. As we join back into the action here, it's 4-all now as the set just got evened out here in the first set of action for our men's 55 doubles semifinals. Any predictions? I'm sure you know all four of these guys. You've been watching them throughout the week. Any inside information you've been able to gather?
No, I think what we're looking at is some of the best doubles I've seen. When I look at these players, I know obviously we got Mr. Leach out there. We got a graduate from UC Irvine. And I'm not sure where the other players are from, but it's a pretty close match, tied up on serve in the first set, so I think it can go in any direction.
Yeah, we've got some UC Irvine, as you mentioned. We've got some USC heritage out on the court as well. We also have Vivek, who we keep saying from Mercer Island, Washington, but he did want to let us know that he's one of the top 5 players all the way from Chickacherry, Oklahoma. Don McNeil, a Grand Slam champion there from that small town in Oklahoma. So Vivek can't claim that he's number 1 from the city,
Okay.
but he's one of these potential snowbirds that you talk about coming down from the Pacific Northwest, or you and I were talking off air about a lot of your clientele coming from Pacific Northwest or Canada or even from SoCal over to the desert. We've also seen some players here from Florida trying to make the desert a second home. Are there any other folks you've noticed that are finding properties here in the desert?
Well,
Interesting.
Canada seems to be represented well here. Getting a lot of Canadians coming down. We're getting a lot of people driving over the mountains from San Diego, of course, Orange County, LA, Bay Area. So Chicago, I showed some property to a nice couple from Chicago. So, I think the desert it offers value in terms of a cost per square foot, and really kind of, I think, comes back to that lifestyle that people are recognizing. And I think that's also a testament to Kaiwen, who not only is the director of this event, but he's been the tennis director here at Shadow for approaching 10 years, and he's really made not only this event, but the whole community here pretty tennis-centric and lifestyle-oriented. So we just continue to see some nice momentum, and people just seem to feel it once they get here at the tournament. So anyways, but appreciate the time with you, and thanks for what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Mackey. We really appreciate you sponsoring the tournament. We see Bruce checking the sun there and able to struggle off at a 5-30 deficit and get it back to 30-all to level this game as it's 4-all here in the first set. Varma and Leach, the number 1 seeds in the draw, versus Man-Son-Hing and Pawsat, the 3 seeds in the semifinals. So we're seeing some quality men's 55 doubles action. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm joined here by my co-host, Mr. Spencer Watanabe, a native of the Pacific Northwest, played his college ball at the George Fox University.
Yes, sir.
Spencer, what you seeing here? Do we call this I or Australian, modified I Australian? What is this position that these guys have been utilizing to try to get an edge on Mr. Varma?
I would probably call that I. They do tend to lean over on the cross-court return a bit more, so I mean, I guess you could call it Aussie, but they're not completely committed to it. So maybe a diet Australian? I don't know.
Maybe a New Zealand?
Yeah, you could probably call it a New Zealand or some other form of Australian, I guess.
Perhaps a Macedonian play there.
Could catch on,
Well, it worked out nicely as Bruce and Tim secure the hold.
Oops.
Keeping them on track in this set as we are back on serve. Leach and Varma will need to hold to stay in it. Serving down 4-5 on track in this opening set. Varma, big shout out to his son back home in Mercer Island. Says he's a bit of an esports nerd, bit of a geek, and big shout out to the folks at highschool.gg for helping make this broadcast possible. Varma said he wants to get his son more involved in the video games, or I should say his son wants Varma to get more involved in the video games. So Varma was asking us some questions behind the booth about how he can learn more about that. You're looking at Leach tap his strings there with that nice Babolat Aero Pro stick as they get up. As Rick stretches his serving cannon a bit. Varma, the last one to get off the bench as he works his shoes a bit, wipes his brow, puts the glasses back on as they're going to serve into the sun to try to keep this set alive and level the action here at 5-all. See if Leach can hold serve for the third time in this opening set.
If his other serve games are any indication, then I'm sure that's just what we'll see.
Starts with a big serve up the tee. And, you might not be able to hear, maybe you can hear it on our microphones, but we just had a big gust of wind running north to south. Rick handles that wind nicely, probably strong 25, 30 mile an hour breeze joining us on the court, and Rick made that volley or that overhead look easy, and that's not. Stayed under that ball and put it away.
Oh. Amazing display of hands from both sides.
Rick deciding to use the net cord. I believe that was on purpose. He used the net cord to set up that point for victory there.
I'm sure when you've played as long as Rick has, you aim for those things intentionally.
Did notice them practicing that a little bit in warm-up. Second serve delivery here from Mr. Leach. Goes with the kicker out wide to Bruce's forehand. Bruce sends the return a little high, letting both Varma and Leach into the net, and Varma closes off that point.
Looking like a very strong hold coming up here. It's taking care of what they're sending back at him. Very consistent first serve. Gets you into the point.
Did get an opportunity to speak with Varma a bit before the match last night, and he said it was going to be a battle. He was looking forward to it, and it's turned out to be a battle. We are one big serve away from 5-all here at the opening set of a well-attended semifinal at lovely Shadow Mountain Resort.
Oof.
That return is
Wide.
just wide. Varma thanking the lucky stars that it was wide. Tim to serve at 5-all here. As this set seems to be heading towards a tiebreaker, Spencer.
Missed the angle from my side. That was wide, right?
Looked in from here, but I couldn't tell as well. And based on the casual way that Bruce picked up the ball, I'm going to assume that the call was out, and it's 5-love. We're playing without a chair umpire today, and a lot of these players know each other. We're also positioned a bit too far off the court to hear a lot of the action ourselves. So we're guessing from time to time. Tim looks like he could go for an underhand serve at any moment with that ready position, keeping his opponents honest.
Oh,
That lob off of Leach's racket, not quite going as high as he wanted it to.
gotta tell you, Bruce has been a threat at the net this entire match. And that's just really helping him rack up points on Tim's serve.
Amazing thing about both of these teams, we haven't seen much of a drop-off in the level of their ability to hold between the first server and the second server.
Yeah.
Great hands out of Bruce there. Keep it outside of Mr. Leach's strike zone as they take a 6-5 lead in this opening set.
Let's see where we're at. We're creeping up on an hour. We're not quite there yet, but this first set has gone on for what looks like 52 minutes.
We get a great look at all four players taking their time on the changeover, discussing a little bit of strategy, perhaps thinking about what they're going to eat after the match, or maybe they're focused on the match. Who knows? Bruce is first to get up for the action here. He wants the break. Varma and Rick talking things out. Tim with his customary quick yoga session and back roll out on the court.
That's a ritual I need to pick up for sure. All right, Varma to serve. Keep him in this first set.
Varma throwing in a double there. He tells me that his friends call him V, but I'm supposed to call him Varma. Serving down love 5 here as they try to bring this thing to a tiebreaker. See if Leach can make a move here and help Varma out. There's the preemptive move, causes Timothy to think about that return.
what a pickup.
Huge hands from Vivek. Way to get those knees involved, to get low all the way through that volley.
Scraped it off the ground. Perfect spot off the line.
Nobody's getting to that. Great lob return there. Little communication. I think V thought that his partner might take that out of the air. And by the time he recovered, wasn't in position for that forehand. Brings us to 30 all, 5-6 in the opening set at the Wilson World Tennis Classic men's doubles 55s semifinal. You're watching the 1 seed Varma and Leach serve to the 3 seed Pawsat and Man-Son-Hing. All 4 of these gentlemen have storied tennis careers. All of them still getting started.
Oh, unfortunate net cord. That's going to give him a break point for the set.
Break point, set point, second double fault in the game for Varma. See if he can wipe that out of his mind and focus on bringing it back to deuce here.
That's going to help a lot. Take that pressure off.
Great second serve from Varma. Incredible positioning from Leach. Pawsat couldn't do enough with that return to cause any trouble. That's going to be a confidence boost for V here.
For sure. We'll see where that momentum carries him in this deuce battle here. Another break point for Pawsat and Man-Son-Hing.
Another set point here.
Break point, set point, potato, potato.
Oh, incredible return from Tim. There's no way Varma could let that go long. We were looking at that ball here from the sideline, and that ball was going to land in. He tried his best, but was simply out of position for the next shot. That brings the first set to conclusion with the number 3 seeds taking it 7-5 over the 1 seeds.
Just under an hour there too. What a great set of tennis we just saw. A lot of good net play, a lot of good coverage, a lot of good movement.
Quality tennis for all 4 competitors. Just came down to, well, really, one return there.
Yeah.
was the difference maker. A couple unfortunate let cords there. And that final game resulted in a break.
That's going to make the difference at this level.
We get an awesome overlooking view at Shadow Mountain Resort here at your 2023 Wilson World Tennis Classic. As we pan through the crowd here, we've got about 453 people that have came through the gate today to watch some awesome tennis on a weekday in the desert.
Fans up in the cafe, showing their support for their players.
Some incredible French cuisine available for everyone out here at the tournament. As it looks like, oh, we thought Bruce was going to serve there. And it looks like Bruce is going to serve to start the second set here. So he makes some plans with Tim.
See how this one plays out here.
They start off where they left off, winning the first point of the second set. An important hold here just to solidify that they're in charge of this match. All four players do have a lot of experience playing with one another or against one another. So there's really no strokes and secrets on this court.
Yep.
I've seen them all.
It's a great pickup.
Incredible lob by Varma, and he's able to put it away there. I think it's going to be important for Varma and Leach to find a break early on in the set to really establish themselves here.
Yeah. Get some
Before they
momentum
let
going.
this train run away.
Yeah, for sure. Got that wind coming through again here. Let's see how that affects the players.
It doesn't affect Tim on that poach. Bruce with a great serve, causing Leach to stretch on the return. Tim was there before Leach made contact with the return and puts away a nice volley. Hits his volley in the direction he was moving, continuing that motion. That was great.
Great serve.
Bruce and Tim continuing to use that New Zealand position to their advantage.
I thought we said Cambodian. What was it?
No, Macedonian.
Macedonian. That's what it was.
Very close to
Very.
Australia, but a little bit shifted to the east.
I was probably pretty far off with Cambodia, but somewhere on
Yeah.
the earth. That's going to do it. There's the hold.
So that return sails wide. Really impressed with Bruce's serving throughout the week. But today he's been the one that's put it together, a number of clean 40 love or 45 holds.
I'm sure his partner enjoys it just as much as you do, getting set up for those nice put-away volleys.
So we take a good look here at Mr. Rick Leach and Mr. Vivek Varma. They've been playing together at a couple different tournaments at ITF Seniors in the U.S. and as they work their way up through the 50s, 55s, and beyond, and have intentions of winning some 90s and 95s and possible some 100s gold balls in the future here. Big lefty gets ready to serve here. One serve and two overheads makes it look pretty easy out there.
If only they all went that way.
Seems to be the player on the court that's hit the most overheads today. Probably not the person you want to be lobbing the most. But he's the only one of the three that doesn't have to look into the sun on this side. Good placement on that volley from Varma, keeping it away from the rackets of his opponent. Brings us to 30 love, serving 0-1 in the second set. Leach and Varma looking to level this match here, claw their way back into it. If you're just joining us, the first set went 7-5 to Pawsat and Man-Son-Hing. It's a very, very close set, contested all the way up to 5-all, and then Pawsat and Man-Son-Hing managing to sneak away a break when they needed it most.
Looking to be another stronghold from Rick Leach. I think that makes him 4 for 4 in terms of serve games held. It could just be a combination of his lefty serve and Varma's play at the net, or who knows what else, but just a lot of solid tennis coming through here.
I believe that's point number 3 that has been lost on Leach's serve today out of 4 games. Thank you to our statisticians back in New York that are making that possible. There's a big lefty flat serve out wide to the deuce side.
That's going to put a definitive end to that game. Keep him on hold here.
Bruce could have got his racket on that as he decided to throw it at the fence, but he kept it in his hand. Moves on to the next game. Now it's Tim's turn to serve. Both Bruce and Tim have been very solid on their serve games, but if there's an opportunity to break for Varma and Leach, it's likely to come off of Tim's serve here in this second set. Throwing in I believe that's his first double of the match, Spencer. I don't know if we can check with the booth to confirm that.
I'd believe it. He's been very solid this whole match. I don't think I've seen him double fault before.
As he serves 5-all here at 1-all in the second set. In the men's 55's top half of the draw, semifinal at the Wilson World Tennis Classic, contested at beautiful Shadow Mountain Resort in Palm Desert, right next to Indian Wells, California, in the United States of America. We've got 4 gentlemen from the United States joining us on the court here, contesting this match. Mr. Pawsat, who you see serving, is no slouch. His partner, same boat. Leach as well. Varma returning, one of the only guys here on the court that doesn't have an extensive ATP Tour record behind him.
He's playing like he should, that's for sure.
Varma blames that on only being the 5th best player out of his small town in Oklahoma, where Don McNeil originated from, former Grand Slam champion. Varma's doubles partner today is obviously Mr. Rick Leach, who's got a number of Grand Slam titles under his belt, both in doubles as well as mixed doubles. He's got a nephew, Jagger, who's currently out there on the junior ITF tour, top 200 in the world as a 15-year-old, looking to make his presence known on the ATP in a couple years here. His brother, John, that's his son, along with his wife, Lindsay Davenport. Big shout out to Jagger. Thanks for tuning in to YouTube. Most of the competitors in this tournament haven't heard of YouTube and Twitch, where we're broadcasting this match. So hopefully the young folks out there will pick us up on the airwaves and explain to their grandparents how they're watching this today. Big shout out to the esports ecosystem, the folks behind the mic here and the folks in the broadcast truck are used to broadcasting video games, and for all of us, this is the first time a lot of us have seen a tennis court. So we're out here as part of a student-ran production, a program called Teen Vision at Citrus High School from Val Verde Unified School District, working with an esports group called highschool.gg that's providing a service here to the tournament as we get a good look at some world champions in tennis.
It's shaping up to be another long set. Both players, or both teams, really displaying just dominance when it comes to holding their serve.
And that's the beauty of the tennis scoring format, especially in doubles. As you continue to hold, more and more tension gets put together, and like we saw that last set go to 5-all, eventually a break happens. Thought it was going to go to a tiebreaker, but all it takes is one double fault here and there, one missed volley, one missed overhead, and everything falls apart quickly. This is a best 2 out of 3 sets. We're not playing the old school Grand Slam doubles best out of 5 format that Mr. Leach was familiar with on the tour here. So if Leach and Varma don't squeak out this set here, that will be it. If we look back at the draw this week, there's been a lot of contested 3-set matches. Varma and Leach eked out a tiebreaker 10-6 just yesterday to get here versus Peter and Carlos. Peter Krulevich and Carlos Cruzieto. And then Timothy and Bruce had a bit of a shorter match, winning 0-1 versus Bruce Silva and Michael Dowse. Michael Dowse, of course, the former CEO of Wilson Sporting Goods and former CEO of the United States Tennis Association. It's good to see him out here promoting the sport as he's done for decades. Awesome to see a lot of folks from the tennis industry out here with a love of the game, continuing to play the game as they've done for decades, and really support competitive high-level tennis for players of all ages around the world. Oh. Rick Leach apologizes to Bruce there as he almost ended the match quickly. That hits Bruce in the wrong spot, but does manage to hit Bruce's racket.
Some heat behind that shot there. What a rally.
One of the few points we've seen that involved one up, one back from both parties at the net, but Varma getting a chance to show that he can hang with anybody when it comes to ground strokes.
I'm sure both players there were looking for opportunities to come in, but again, both players keeping it deep.
Yep. Both gentlemen at the net were threats there. Both guys rolling the ball, keeping it away. 35. Good hands from Leach. He's not putting in 120-mile-an-hour overheads, but he's following it up. He knows where that next ball's going, and that's what matters. He's got an incredible touch. He's still moving like a beast. We do notice every time he comes up from the changeover, he's taking some extra time to warm up that shoulder. Wonder if there's some shoulder issues there where he's worried about really going at it on some of these overheads, but we haven't seen him miss an overhead yet today.
Tennis players and shoulder injuries go hand in hand. That's the unfortunate truth of it.
That's just too good for any level. Tim dropping the ball where nobody can get it. I think he's used to playing with ball kids on the court, was just trying to hurry up the match, but unfortunately there's no ball kids out here today, so that drop volley went to nobody. We get a good look at Varma serving 40-30.
Oh. Uh-oh. Great display of hands. Brings us to deuce here. Let's see.
Solid return from Bruce there.
Right at his laces.
Leach could not make a move. Like you said, right at the shoes of Varma.
It's going to give him a look at a break here.
Our first break point of the second set. Varma not happy with himself there. Might be thinking about that 5-6 in the first set. He doesn't want to see that happen again here.
Perfectly
Quality
placed
lob
here.
from Tim. Just like the... Oof. 2 times on break point, Tim comes through with great lobs off of Varma's serve that sets up the point. One was to finish out the first set, and one right there to go ahead 3-1 in the second. Those returns from Tim seem to have been the deciding factor so far in this doubles affair. Bruce with that bright blue Solinko shirt. Getting ready to serve, up 3-1.
A great close on top of that, too. Powerful serve, powerful approach. It's going to put him in a position for a pretty good hold here. There's that Estonian position. Tell me it was Estonian, not Cambodian.
No, Macedonia is off the east coast
One of these times,
of Australia.
I will get it right. I promise. Sometime.
Great return there from Leach. Catches Bruce running too far forward. It's not about the power, it's about the placement on these returns. We've seen a couple times now where all four gentlemen have actually ran too far forward and been a little bit ahead of that next ball, catching it at their shoes. And that's what happens when these guys are so good at placing the ball. It's a little bit harder to stop than it is to start. That extra little bit of baby steps. Footwork is so critical. Another great serve from Bruce. Varma getting a little bit lucky. Tim decided to go for the underspin, top of the frame, backspin bouncing over the net overhead, but it does sail wide.
It's a tough one to do out of Macedonian, for sure.
Levels the game at 30 all as Leach and Varma look to find a way to break back in this second set. Bruce and Tim changing the signs, seeing something. Wanted to give Leach a little different look. Bruce goes out wide to Leach's backhand. Leach with an amazing return, but Bruce is there for the volley, but it doesn't matter. Varma's there to close it off, and that gives them a look at break point, first break point for Varma and Leach.
We'll see if they can carry that momentum and get a break back here. Get back into the set. Set things right. Don't know if he's seeing the ball behind him. No, he got it. Yeah, I can hear you.
30-40, second serve.
You guys have an audio issue? Seems fine on our end. He's on his way back.
There you go. Just like that, Leach and Varma, first critical break they've got in the match.
That's the one they needed too.
They needed that right back. That was a response. If this went to 4-1, it gets out of hand quickly. But they're able to get back on track as we take a look at Varma and Leach sitting down on the bench. We'll see how Tim and Bruce respond to that. They've been pretty even-keeled all match. See if we get an opportunity to see Tim roll out a bit here on the changeovers. They all seem to have a bit of a routine. They've got their spots for their water bottles. Not quite Nadal level of placement on their water bottles. but they all are pretty dead set on their routines. Bruce working on some strategy. He doesn't want us to read the lips there. Tim taking a second to get centered and focused. And Leach is ready to serve. As all four gladiators join the arena.
Ooh.
Leach is serving to stay on serve here. Down 2-3 in the second set in this semifinal match of the Wilson World Tennis Classic men's 55 draw. Varma and Leach on the top of the scoreboard come into this tournament as the #1 seed. Pawsat and Man-Son-Hing as the #3 seed. If you're joining us live, it's currently 2:09 p.m. Pacific time in beautiful in the desert here in
What a return.
Indian Wells, Palm Desert, California. Currently a lovely 71 degrees with a slight breeze from the north side of the court heading to the south side of the court. To put that in viewer perspective, there's a little bit of wind behind Rick's serve into the face of Bruce, who's returning.
Handled it quite well.
Rick's
I'd
had
say.
an easy time holding so far today.
Oh, just that wind on that lob, that's deadly.
Beautiful way for Bruce to use that wind, to use that topspin to his advantage. You're absolutely right, Spencer.
Well fought out point there too.
The story of this match so far has been breaks at inopportune or opportune times. First set was decided in one break at 5-6. Couple unfortunate double faults and from Varma and Leach, and some incredible returns off of the rackets of Pawsat, led to set point. It looked like the second set was going to run away from Varma and Leach. They were down 1-3 with an opportunity to go down 4-1 with Pawsat and Man-Son serving at 3-1. And Varma and Leach managed to cobble the break back, and now we're here back on serve. 2-3, 30 all at lovely stadium court here at Shadow Mountain Resort. You're looking at that action right there. That's multi-time Grand Slam champion Rick Leach, the only lefty on the court who's serving right now.
Serving up trouble. Both players struggling to get a solid return in, but
Another beautiful get
that is
from Tim.
an incredible lob.
The crowd in awe. We've got quite a great crowd here joining us as we take a look at the action here at Palm Desert Resort. In a break point situation.
Love seeing it.
We'll get back to the action here. First break point that Mr. Leach has faced all day on his serve.
Oh, the hands on that.
Incredible hands from Bruce. Varma hit a great overhead, but it was right to the racket of Bruce, and he was there. Just like that, they break back. That's
a
three
third
breaks
break
in a row.
Yeah, third break this set.
Now, Tim and Bruce have an opportunity to really put this thing on ice if they can manage to hold for a commanding 5-2 lead.
Pressure's on here.
Pawsat from Southern Cal serving at 4-2. Love all here in the second. trying to
Oh my goodness.
upset the 1 seed. Now you're witnessing some high-level doubles.
That was
Nobody's upset.
quite an exchange there.
Nobody's upset when some pegs take place here at this level. That's a incredible exchange at the net from all 4 players. Pawsat and Bruce taking some time, more and more time as the match has gone on, to make sure they're on the same page when it comes to holding serve, as the balls get a little bit slower throughout this match, and all 4 players seem to be struggling a bit to hold serve. Had a
From
ball
somewhere.
on from court number 10, one of the other matches going on. So that was a let scenario. So we will replay the point. Just saw one of the best returns and best follow-up volleys I've ever witnessed in person. But we'll do it again here. Love 15 first serve. Great lob.
display of hands. Is he going to get there?
Tim with an incredible get.
Oh. That's amazing.
Wow. The crowd, we have a standing ovation from some folks in the crowd.
Well, I'm glad that ball came on the court so we could see that point.
Yes.
I like that point.
That was an awesome point to witness. Also now, love 30. All the players telling me that the air is pretty fast this week. Balls flying through the air, and these courts are extremely slow. So it's an interesting dynamic for all these players.
Oof.
High-level doubles here. Textbook
Smart.
close.
Smart put away. Get that thing off the court.
Tim recognizing the threat that Leach has and putting it in the only spot where Leach can't run forward to get it. Tim now serving down 5:30 in this game. So we look at Varma getting ready to receive serve.
Oh.
Leach says, not in my house. Not happy with how things are going. Decides to take over the whole court with just his left arm. They're looking at double break point here. 5:30. Leach has got an opportunity, or 5:40. Leach has got an opportunity here. As we're well past the hour-and-a-half mark in this match. Great close from Tim and Bruce. Bruce always in the right spot, even if he's not the one hitting the ball. He's still dictating up there, as a server's partner should be doing. Really putting the pressure and making sure that the point shifts the way that they want it to.
Yeah, great play. They just got to push off one more break point here to stay in this game.
This, as every point before it, is the most critical point in the match. But this one holds a lot of weight. There's an opportunity for Varma and Leach to even it as far as being back on serve. And a chance for Tim Pawsat to bring it back to deuce to really take a commanding 5-2 lead. Great lob out of Varma. See if he can convert here. Ooh.
Playing off of his shoes there.
Tim able to absorb the power. Both Tim and Bruce able to absorb the power for 3 shots in a row from Varma.
Taking it to deuce here. Let's see how this plays out.
Great comeback. The game within the game for Tim finding a way to hold here. Oh. Leach and Varma calling that ball just back. They both confirmed the call.
So we're going to call
Tim
that.
looking to the crowd, hoping to get some calls from the crowd. None of the crowd is umpires today. So we're looking at another break point.
It's going to help him get back into the set.
Advantage Varma and Leach. Varma to return. Varma's going to have a look at a second serve here off of Pawsat's racket.
See what he does with it. You thinking down the line lob?
He was pretty aggressive on the last return, running around for a forehand. He does the same thing here. And Leach is there to clean up Varma's setup. Bringing the set back to even on serve at 3-4 here, Spencer.
It's turning into a battle of the breaks here. That's the 4th consecutive break game that we've had.
4 breaks in a row. Nobody
this
wants
set.
to yield. Amazing tennis all around from all 4 competitors on the court. All 4 gents consuming some calories, some liquid, making sure that they stay fresh. As we take a look at that lovely GoPro shot at Shadow Mountain Resort here in beautiful Palm Desert, just down the road from Indian Wells Tennis Garden. Shadow Mountain Resort playing host to the 39th running of the Wilson World Tennis Classic. With over 45 draws being contested and over 800 competitors in 35s all the way up to 90s action here in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles.
A lot of good tennis this week.
Yeah. Lovely mountain scenes behind us. If we take a look over here, this is not CGI. Those are real mountains. Those are real palm trees as we see James Mackey, one of the sponsors, walk behind us. Amazing shot at Tim there, getting ready to return. As we see if Varma can hold here to bring it back to 4-all in the set. Starting off with a great return from Bruce, who shows a little bit of emotion there. Varma and Leach quickly off to a love 5 deficit. Taking some time to strategize here, as this is a must-hold game for them. You got to feel Spencer. Pressure is on here.
I think we saw some of that come out in that emotion from Bruce over there. And then also could have been from the call that they disagreed with, but
Quickly, Varma and Leach find themselves down love 30 as they walk back to the fence. Take some time to plan out the next point. Varma taking those glasses off on this side. Trying to see if that'll help him out with the serve. Visibility is a factor here as some of the shadows creep onto the court in the afternoon hours here at the Wilson World Tennis Classic.
A little too much on that.
Volley sails just long. Love 40. Bringing up a couple looks at break points here.
Quite a few, yep. Not the momentum you want.
If I was a betting man, we're going to see a lob off of Tim's racket here on the return.
What do you feel? Forehand return lob over Rick Leach here?
Say a backhand lob return over Leach.
Okay,
Varma and Leach have not had an answer to it.
I'm calling forehand chip lob. I'm feeling it. Oh,
There's a big serve out of Varma.
well, I guess we're both
He
wrong.
needed that.
But
I was right that it was going to the backhand now. Varma now serving down 540. As we take a look at Leach and Varma coming together. Talking it out, trying to find a way to claw this game back to deuce. 1 point at a time.
oh, oh, Just
And
wide.
that was just wide.
it's gonna
as
be yet another
great
break.
return from Bruce. Solidifies that game. 5-3. The match now rests on Bruce's racket here. He can serve it out.
Yeah,
Bruce has been a bulldog on serve today.
that makes 4 breaks in a row. So let's see if that streak ends. Gives them a look at the finals of this tournament.
Bruce quick to get serving in this game, wasting no time. Comes in and takes care of business. Bruce with a stare down to his opponents after a great close there. 30 love, 2 points away from closing out this match.
Yeah, he's really proven himself to be the threat at net this match. Just really taking over the net, closing at the right time, putting away balls.
And quickly, 40 love. Got 2 match points coming up here. And Bruce might only need one of them from the looks of how he's serving as they go to their I or Australian position. Match point.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible play from all 4 players. That point could have been won 4 or 5 times. Both players, both teams exhibiting extreme athleticism. One of the highest caliber points of the match coming at
For
match
sure.
point.
What better time to do it?
Varma really stepping it up there. 45. Match point number 2. Man-Son-Hing to serve. First serve misses long. Beautiful lob.
Going in. Oh, there it is.
Tim's up there to gobble up that. Bruce sets up the point nicely. They close out this match in a commanding 7-5, 6-3 victory. Awesome hugs and handshakes there from all 4 competitors at the court.
Just a really good show. Really fun match to watch. A lot of great net battles.
I know Varma and Leach will leave disappointed, but they shouldn't. That was all around awesome battle.
And I know the crowd just loved it too.
See if we can get a look at Bruce and Tim. Bruce and Tim have earned their spot in the finals of men's 55 doubles. Tim doing what he did during the changeovers, stretching out.
That's inspiring stuff.
Rick offering words of encouragement there to both players. What an incredible opportunity just to witness high-level tour doubles on display. That'll do it for us today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, that's the number 3 seeds upsetting the number 1 seeds. That's Pawsat and Man-Son-Hing defeating Varma and Leach. 7-5, 6-3 in the first semifinal of men's 55 doubles here at the Wilson World Tennis Classic at beautiful Shadow Mountain Resort in Palm Desert, California. Take one amazing look at the atmosphere here at the club.
Stunning.
An electric match. We've got a lot more action here. 12 courts today going with action from 8 a.m. until dark. We'll see the same thing tomorrow. This tournament runs all the way through the weekend. We're on day 7 of 10. A lot of exciting tennis to be had. Feel free to come out and join us here. If you mention that you saw our broadcast, tickets are free. Otherwise, tickets are free anyway, so come on out and enjoy some lovely tennis. We take a look at our crowd one more time. Thanks again to all our sponsors. Wilson, the official ball of the tournament, the title sponsor, as well as James Mackey, your realtor extraordinaire in the desert. Big shout out to the National Women's Tennis Organization, as well as the National Senior Men's Tennis Association. Tim's going to join us live on air, actually, for a little post-match, a quick post-match impromptu interview here. Awesome display out there, man. I'm Todd. This is Spencer. We're live here just discussing as we wrap up the match. Obviously, we saw incredible doubles out of you guys. We saw just a couple breaks make the difference there. You guys were able to hold there finally after 4 breaks in a row in the second set. Yeah, what did you feel put you guys over the top today?
It's kind of a tide turner, but you can't. The tide goes one way and they can go back the other way quickly. When matches are so tight, you can't get too up or too down. Because, there were some breaks, but it wasn't like one team was playing terrible or the other team was kind of earning it, right? And so when they're earning it, that's you can kind of go back and forth like that. So it's just a good quality match. And I didn't know the one gentleman we played before, but obviously my guy Rick Leach I played with for since I was 13 to 24. So we know each other's game well. And so I kind of know what to expect. And he's such a great player. But it was just I haven't competed for a while. This is my first few tournaments back, and it just really feels good to kind of get back in shape and be able to compete at the highest level. So I'm really excited. I'm almost a little emotional because I haven't done it for a while,
Well, you did awesome, and obviously you know Rick very well from your time on the tour playing with and against him. The other gentleman, Vivek Varma out of Mercer Island, Washington. You did a great job, critical lob return to break him to win the first set, and then you did the same thing, another break point, critical lob return to set up your partner Bruce two times in a row.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when I was playing in the juniors with Rick in college and the pros, I didn't really lob that much. My dad always would tell me, Tim, you got to learn how to lob. My dad's in heaven now, but I can lob now, Dad. So I learned how to lob as a kind of a senior player, and I was having a little trouble. Like the first 2 matches, I returned actually a little bit better. Actually, but today I just was having to lob to kind of neutralize the guy's serve, and once we neutralized the serve, we were doing pretty well on both players. So actually, I give myself a B- on returning today, but other than that, I thought I played pretty solid. Yeah.
Well, awesome job. Way to close it out in 2. And I don't think who your opponents will be into the finals. No, I don't think we know either. I'm not sure if the match has been contested yet.
What are we on right now? What is it?
We're on the internet. We're on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Okay.
We're on YouTube live, and we'll make sure we send you a recording.
Okay, sounds good.
Any shout outs to?
I'll tell my wife I love her, my daughter Molly, Charlie, and Ellie. Thank you.
Awesome. Good luck in the finals. That was Tim joining us live. There's a good look at Bruce right there.
A lot of class from that gentleman.
Yeah. Hey, Bruce. Bruce, as a fellow Team Solenko guy, I think when you put that blue shirt on, that really made the difference there. You did, but we noticed you switched. Okay. So that was the difference maker. We noticed you were the dominator. You did get broken once, but that sun was tough. You guys managed to find that break there at 5-6. Some critical returns. So had you played Varma before? Obviously everybody knows Leach, but had you played Vivek before? Okay. Cool. Now, are you contesting in mixed doubles or singles this week? So what's the post-match routine gearing up for the finals tomorrow? Awesome. Well, congratulations, and we look forward to an awesome final tomorrow. Good luck. good to hear from both of our finalists as we take a look on the court. As we're looking at some warm-up for some 75 mixed doubles action coming to the court. That's what's so amazing at this tournament. You've got some of the best players in the world, players that have all been on the tour that just talk to us, and now we're watching some folks that are out here playing for a gold ball, which is what the USTA, United States Tennis Association, gives out for those that have achieved the ultimate glory. There's only a couple gold balls available each year in each age category, and one of them is available right now as we look for the 75 mixed doubles championship this week. So you're seeing folks get ready for their match here. We're gonna step away from the broadcast for a moment. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning into the action here at the Wilson World Tennis Classic. That's it for now. Thanks so much. Big shout outs from the casting booth. I'm Todd. That's
Spencer.
My buddy Spencer.
Most people call me Spencer.
You can call me Todd. Thanks so much. We'll
Thanks
see you
for
guys
watching.
later.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Sorry.